world, see all the 7 wonders. There's nothing that we won't see. No matter where we go, you're always there with you, a true protector in me. Tell you that I want you and that I need you. Tell me that you understand, and I will tell you that I want you and that I need you. Make me the happiest man. And baby, I can't stop smiling. I'm excited. I'm living in Wonderland with you by my side. I'm flying, I'm gliding. I hope that I never land. I hope 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 I never land.
Hi everyone, it's Kieran here at Magical Traveller. Hope you're having a great week. Hope you're enjoying the weather. I don't know where you are, where we are in Newport. The weather has not made its mind up all week. We started off with like warm weather, and then it started raining again. We had a couple of days of rain, and now it's back to being really hot and muggy again. So I hope the weather's just as exciting where you are, because it's been the same here. In case you haven't met before, hi, I'm Kieran. I'm the owner of Magical Traveller. We are an independent travel agent specializing in all things cruise, Disney, and North America. And I just thought I would come to you live. I'm trying to do these lives now every Friday at 6 p.m. as long as I'm in the country. And if I'm not in the country, I will still try, but I make no promises. And just kind of each week, ideally talk about a different topic that I kind of plan. But obviously, if you've got any questions about travel in general or what's happening in the world of travel, then by all means, feel free to let me know. I haven't tested this software yet, but in theory, what used to work when I used this previously is if you comment to this video on any of the platforms that it is on, it should hopefully bring through the questions and I should be able to see them. But if not, if you've got my WhatsApp me and I'll try and remember to answer you. But yeah, so what I thought I'd do this week is I have made slides. I say I've made slides. I've had help making slides. But what I thought I'd do is, because it's coming up soon, I just thought I would do a bit of a general chat around Disneyland Paris and the fact that 2026 summer is going on sale, but also as well talk a little bit more about what is coming to Disneyland Paris for 2026 as well, because there's some exciting developments that have been a long time coming, but are finally coming to fruition as well for 2026. So trying to keep this particular live more about Disneyland Paris and what we can do when it comes to Disneyland Paris. But if you've got any general questions, like I say, I'm more than happy to try and answer them or make up an answer that if I don't know the answer to them. But just to start off, I have got slides just because that is how I roll. I love making slides. But basically, this is why it's exciting. So basically coming from, and if I go through to the next slide, basically starting on the 2nd of September, 2025, you are going to be able to book your Disneyland Paris breaks for April 2026, right the way through to March 2027. So that's a whole year of Disneyland Paris holidays that are available to book. And this is really exciting because we've been waiting for this for a while. But what makes this even more exciting is basically what's coming in 2026. So obviously, for those people that don't know, Disneyland Paris is located about 40-ish minutes outside of central Paris. So it's really easy to get to from the UK. We can fly there from pretty much all the major airports. You can get the Eurostar, you can take the ferry over. There's loads of different ways you can go there. And over the years, Disneyland Paris have been investing heavily into the resort. So it has become an incredible destination. I used to be a little bit like, it's nice, but I wouldn't go out of your way to kind of go visit it. Whereas now I really do highly recommend it. It's an incredible break. Every time I've gone, I've been more and more blown away by just how incredible the resort's looking, how all the new entertainment's coming together. And some of the shows there that are happening in the Paris resort are actually some of my favorite Disney shows that have happened anywhere in any of the Disney parks I've been to. So it is definitely one to kind of have on your radar now if you've never been before. The other benefit as well is it is slightly smaller compared to maybe say like Walt Disney World, so it's less of a commitment as well. Of if you are looking to have a Disney break, then you're not having to kind of commit to a bigger Disney holiday. You can just kind of do a long weekend, or you can do a short break type of thing. But the key date is from the 2nd of September 2025. All of 2026 is going to be available now as well. So we currently have up until March 26 on sale, but then from April 26 right the way through to March 2027 is going to be available for your for your Disneyland Paris on resort accommodation and ticket packages. And then flights, ferries, and things like that will depend on how far out you're going. Obviously, summer is going to be available for summer next year. but we may struggle for next winter to do a full package holiday. But the nature of the way that we work, because we are our own tour operator, we can obviously secure those hotel accommodations and park ticket packages now while the price is low, and then obviously add on your flights and transportation as and when they become available to make it a fully at-all protected holiday. But what I want to chat about as well is just some of the things that are exciting that are coming to Disneyland Paris and as well next year. Now, just keep in mind, to preface this, we don't have dates for all of this. I'm hoping come the 1st of September, the day before, there's a big Disney event planned to happen. I'm hoping we're going to get some sort of announcement ready for when 2026 summer goes on sale, just so people can plan whether they want to go before the new updates come or whether they want to go afterwards, so they can kind of plan their expectations accordingly. But at the moment, there's no date yet. Disney typically tend to run on a kind of Paris tends to run on a March window, so normally big new events start to happen around March time, but Disney as a company tends to work on May. So I'm personally expecting some date between March and May is when we'll see the official opening date of these expansions. But for those people that don't know, and I thought I had a slide for this, but Walt Disney Studios, the second theme park at Disneyland Paris, is basically been going through a big, massive renovation project over the last couple of years, and it's finally coming to fruition. That does start off with a new name, which is going to be called Disney World Adventure, which means the whole park is having a new concept design, and it's moving away slightly from the studios concept, and it's now gone to kind of the magical worlds of Disney storytelling, starting off with obviously how those stories originated, which is the world of movies. So the entrance is still going to be very similar to what we have at the moment, but Studio One is kind of going away, and we're getting this new concept which is already open called World Premiere, and this is designed to be kind of that turn of the century, that kind of 1920s 30s Hollywood scene where you are going to the movies to watch the premiere basically each night. So as you go into the former Studio One, it's now looking like kind of the Hollywood high street that we all know and love from kind of all the vintage movies. You're still going to have the retail on the left hand side as you're walking towards the park, and you're going to have a brand new restaurant on the right hand side as well. So it's a whole new refurbishment, a whole new look, and you now have this brand new area as well, kind of as the entrance into the park as well, which is designed to be the movie theater that unlocks all these incredible Disney worlds of adventure that you can have beyond the theme park entrance. So this is currently open. However, beyond this at the moment, there's a lot of construction walls ready for when this new expansion does officially happen and the park officially changes its name from Walt Disney Studios into World Adventure, which, like I say, is some point next year. Fingers crossed, spring next year. The big update as well is going to be this totally brand new area. This is a whole new area. This originally wasn't part of the theme parks. This isn't one of those they're replacing part of the park. This is a whole new area that's going to be open as well. But you're going to have a giant lake at the back of the park now, which is going to have a fountain in the middle of it, which will do fountain shows during the daytime. And I'll give you a bit of a spoiler for later, but you get brand new nighttime shows. And then as well, now around that lake, you can have a number of different magical worlds that you can kind of visit as well as part of your day in World Adventure. The big one that we're all looking forward to, in fact, I'm going to jump ahead, sorry, is the, actually, okay, these slides are in different orders on this screen or that screen. So leading into that, though, before we get there, going from kind of the current park, you've got this new promenade, basically. And this is really exciting because it's bringing the park into a theme park, basically. And it's one of the complaints that people had about Walt Disney Studios was it's very concrete. A lot of buildings. There's not a lot of kind of natural parks and natural environments. So now you're going to have this lovely, big, long promenade that'll take you from the current park front entrance then to this new area at the back of the park they've opened with a new Frozen attraction. So for those people who are fans of Frozen, there's a brand new kind of spinning, almost like the teacups attraction, basically themed around Rapunzel, somewhere along the promenade. This has a very kind of Victorian-esque, turn of the century-esque vibe to it. So it looks like one of those vintage promenades you're going to have. And then at the very end of it as well, there is a brand new dining restaurant as well, which is going to bring another table service restaurant to this park as well, which is really exciting because there isn't a lot of kind of sit-down table service options for you within this park as well. So great to have kind of more additions and more reasons to kind of visit now the new World of Adventure when it does open. The big highlight, however, as part of the reopening is going to be the World of Frozen as well. So for those people who maybe been to Walt Disney World in the Epcot Park, you do have Frozen Ever After. We are going to get a very similar attraction, which is going to be a really incredible boat ride going through Arendelle, where you get to meet kind of Anna and Elsa and Olaf and get to kind of see a little bit more about the story that happens after kind of Anna creates her ice castle, basically. You get to go visit her in the ice castle and meet all the characters as well. I love this attraction. It's very short. It's very cute, but there's a lot of fun. This is going to be kind of a bit of a stepped up version because it's having its own purpose built building, but it's very similar to the one that you may have seen in Epcot if you've been lucky enough to go there. But if not now, we now have a entire Frozen themed land on our doorstep now as well here in Disneyland Paris. What's great is not only are we getting the attraction, but we're getting all new eateries as well, all new shopping and all new area to explore as well. So this is going to be an incredible land, and seeing some of the construction pictures as well, to see that kind of mountain line in the background kind of coming together, to see Elsa's castle in the background, and to see kind of Anna's and Elsa's castle at the front of the park as well. It's going to be incredible. I'm so excited for this because it's going to be nice to kind of have a dedicated Frozen land. In Hong Kong Disney, they do have a very similar land as well. They do have an extra attraction, which is a shame Disneyland Paris didn't bring over, but there's still time. There's plenty of land to expand all this, so maybe we'll get the roller coaster here as well. But either way, regardless, it's great to have another new attraction as well coming to Disneyland Paris. So really, really looking forward to World of Adventure as well coming next year. World of Frozen, sorry, coming next year. And this is what I was referring to earlier on as well then. So this is going to be now on Adventure Bay, as it's called. This is the new lake area right at the very center of this new expansion part. So like I say, during the daytime, it's going to be doing kind of fountain shows, but then at the nighttime, it's going to have another fantastic way to bring all that magical Disney storytelling to life, where you're going to have fountain shows, projections, drones, and really incredible. And there's nothing more magical than having a really fun day in a Disney park and then ending your night with a Disney projection, nighttime fireworks show type of thing. So this is the one thing I'm looking forward to the most. I love Disney nighttime shows, so this one's going to be really, really cool to kind of have that happening as well now in the Studios park. So you've got multiple shows happening in the evenings now as well, so it'll take some pressure off one of the parks, but it'll also give you another reason to stay later in the Studios park, which typically hasn't always had a reason to stay around quite late into the evening as well. So this is what I'm really, really looking forward to. And then moving on from there as well, now this is coming down the line. This isn't happening next year, but it's just to give you a heads up that this isn't just the start. This isn't the end of kind of what's coming to the new World Adventure when it opens next year. This is the start. So beyond this, we already have models and we already have the details of a new Lion King land that's coming. So we're going to have our first ever log flume in Disneyland Paris as well. No date for this. People are forecasting around about 2028, 2029. But it just goes to show that they have grand plans as well. And there are plots of land for more expansions as well. So more new worlds of adventure are going to be coming down the line as well, as kind of they carry on this plan of expanding the Disneyland Paris parks as well. So while you won't be able to book for this quite yet, it's just to go and show that there is a long-term commitment to kind of bringing new and exciting adventures to Disneyland Paris, which we haven't had for a long time. Like, we haven't had much new stuff really, other than when they built Walt Disney Studios. We've had occasional updates and refreshes, but we haven't had much new exciting things to look forward to, whereas now we're kind of drowning in new exciting updates as well. This is obviously on top of all the incredible entertainment they're bringing as well. So the new parades type of thing, the new dance shows they're having as well. So it's going to be really cool to have all this new entertainment and all these new lands to look forward to as well in Disneyland Paris. And then just to kind of, it is a bit of, obviously this is a presentation to kind of sell you holidays, but if you are interested in booking one of these 2026 Disneyland Paris packages, there's a number of ways we can work. We do have a direct contract with Disneyland Paris itself, so we can book your accommodation directly with Disneyland Paris. The great thing, and one of the biggest perks about being able to book your accommodation directly with Disneyland Paris, there's actually a few. One of them is if you book your Disneyland Paris hotel direct and you're staying in a Disneyland Paris hotel, you get an advanced head start on booking dining. So if you wanted to do those character dining, so you want to dine with the princesses or you want to dine with the Disney characters, the second you make your Disneyland Paris hotel reservation directly on property, you can then start making reservations for your dining. So that's the big one if you want to do character dining. The other one is early access to the park, so you get to go into the parks before everybody else, so you get a head start on getting in lines for attractions that are really popular. Attractions like Peter Pan's Flight is another one that always has a really long wait time, but the one that we always use as well is Crush Coaster as well. So that and Ratatouille, they're always really popular, so it's really great to have an extra half-hour start to kind of get into the park and get on those attractions before everybody else starts waiting in line, and then the wait's normally about an hour or more type of thing, so that's really great as well to be able to get a bit of a head start on that one. The other one as well then is your park ticket. So if you book a direct on property stay with Disneyland Paris, your park tickets are valid from the day you check in to the day you check out. So we can try our best. Obviously we're kind of bound by flight times and flight schedules and transfers, but what we try try and do is maximize people's time in there. So they try and get them to the resort as early as possible if the flights allow it, and then also leave as late as possible as well. So the day you check out of your park, you don't have to leave. Your ticket is still valid. You can obviously leave your suitcases with concierge team at your resort and then kind of go off and enjoy the parks for a couple more hours type of thing. If you get the train, there is an option as well where you can kind of have your suitcases taken to the train station, so you don't have to go back to your hotel to pick them back up again. There is a charge for that, but it's a great service to have as well. Same thing as well the day you get in. So if you arrive by train about midday and your room's not ready, don't have to worry. You literally check in for your room at the train station, and then they'll take your suitcases over to your hotel for you as well. So that's another great service. It is chargeable, like I say, but it is just nice if you are somebody who wants to just kind of get there by train and hit the ground running straight away and head straight to the parks and enjoy that without having to worry about your suitcase. So these are really great perks type of thing. There's obviously dining plans as well. So Disneyland Paris also have their own resort dining plans. So you could take advantage of those if you wanted to as well. They are different depending on which hotel you're staying in. So if you're staying in one of the value resorts, you're going to have different options than those staying in the deluxe resorts. People who are going to stay in places like the Disneyland Hotel are going to have exclusive dining only available to those staying in the Disneyland Hotel as well. So we can have a little look at those options. There's a lot to consider. I can go over all the different hotels. There are a number of hotels on property that you can stay in. The big one is that the Sokoa Lodge is actually going through a big refurbishment this year into winter, into next year as well. So that's going to have some nice new fresh decor, which is going to make it really kind of nice and modern as well. So it's probably, I think, one of the only Newport Bay and Sokoa Lodge are the moderate resorts, and they're my two personal recommendations. I always check the pricing to see if it's worth upgrading to those two. They're a little bit closer to the main park than the value resorts, and they just give you kind of that nice trade-off between paying a little bit extra for having a nicer hotel with an on-site pool and things like that versus the two value resorts, the Santa Fe and the Cheyenne Hotel. They're a bit more motel style, so you kind of got to walk around outside a little bit more than you would have to. So in those winter, wetter months, it's not always ideal, whereas the Newport Bay Sokoa Lodge are primarily indoors. There's a couple of outbuildings in Sokoa Lodge, but generally it's all indoors pretty much. And like I said, they have that pool as well. So if you are somebody who's going for longer than a couple of days, then you have the option to kind of use the pools if you wanted to, and some of the bars and lounges type of thing. So when we went for Christmas the one year, we were staying in the Newport Bay, but we went over to Sokoa Lodge because I'd never actually been in there. So we wanted to have a little look around, and it was just lovely to go in there, drink a cocktail by the log fire, and just sit and take it in the ambience, because it looks like a really nice, it's got a particular name, but it's kind of that Yosemite Park type of vibe, Wilderness Lodge type vibe. It's all themed to Bambi, so it's got lots of little Bambi details everywhere, but it's very much like camping New York, American style, sorry, so that's lovely. If you want to go up a grade from there, then you've got the Art of Marvel Hotel as well, which is again located on Lake Disney. So it's a very short walk. I think it's like 10 minutes. It's the shortest other than the Disneyland Hotel, at least anyway. So you've got a very short walk from the Art of Marvel into Disney Village, which is the shopping precinct, and then into the parks from there as well. Great thing about the Art of Marvel is they have lots of kind of exclusive activities available to those people who stay there. Obviously, the hotel has beautiful Disney artwork, Marvel artwork everywhere, but also they have a interactive exhibit as well that you can only visit if you are staying in the hotel as well. And they've got a really cool cocktail lounge. It's surprising that I know a lot about cocktails around kind of all the Disney parks. That's pretty much all we do, is we go visit all the different hotels and use their cocktail lounges. But they've got a really cool one where there's giant kind of video screens behind you, and it's as if it's looking out onto the cityscape in New York. You can see the Avengers Tower in the distance, and every now and then the characters will kind of fly past, Spider-Man will swing past, that type of thing. So that's really cool. And then you get some really fun Marvel themed cocktails. There's Marvel artwork everywhere. It's absolutely stunning. I love the hotel, and one day I will stay there. It's a little bit over my budget. I love the Newport Bay. I love the Newport Bay because it's got that New England yacht club vibe. It's a nice kind of happy distance between the two, and it just feels like a nice premium resort. I think it is looking a little tired at the moment compared to the other resorts that have had more recent refurbishments. They'd done one not that long ago, but it wasn't part of kind of the new complete refurbishment. It was a bit of a refresh rather than a full refurbishment. So I'm hoping once the Sokoa Lodge goes through its now this coming year, possibly the year or two next now, the Newport Bay will have a complete kind of hard goods. We call them hard goods, soft goods. So soft goods are like curtains, beddings, things like that. Hard goods are replacements of beds, wardrobes, chest of drawers, lighting fixtures, all that type of stuff. So Sokoa Lodge is having a bit of a hard goods refresh, new carpets, all that type of stuff, new lighting, new corridors. I'm hoping Newport Bay will get one in the next 5 years as well. And then everyone should know about this as well, but the Disneyland Hotel is the crown jewel then of hotels. So it is directly on the entrance to Disneyland Park. It's the closest you can get. You have your own exclusive entrance into the theme park as well for only those guests at Disneyland Hotel. It is absolutely beautiful. It's recently come out of massive refurbishment as well to kind of refresh all the spaces, all new dining, all new cocktail lounges. It is absolutely beautiful hotel to stay in. And again, if you pick the right suite and you're willing to pay for the right suite, you can then have as well a balcony. It is a French kind of Juliet style balcony where you open the doors and you kind of step out into it. It's not a full-on balcony you sit on like a beach holiday, but you can overlook Main Street USA as well then, so you have those prime viewing areas then as well for kind of those fireworks into the evenings as well. So really great hotel, really lovely. You can't get any closer to the magic as well, so you can imagine kind of going to bed and just laying there and just seeing, you know, Sleeping Beauty Castle in the background. Like, stunning, absolutely stunning. One day you'll know when I'm a lot more successful than I am currently, is when you see me booking into this the Disneyland Hotel as well. So there's lots of reasons to kind of look forward to booking Disneyland Paris as well for 2026. There's so much. I can't rate it high enough. It is a lovely way to get away and a lovely way to kind of get a touch of Disney magic without committing to maybe going long haul and doing Walt Disney World, because Walt Disney World flights, accommodation, the sheer amount of commitment time you need because of the 4 theme parks, 2 water parks, shopping area, resorts, all that type of stuff. It is a big time commitment. Whereas if you're maybe somebody who's interested in trying Disney for the first time and you're not sure, Disneyland Paris is a great place to start that. And like I say, 2026 with the new World Adventure coming, the new Frozen, the new nighttime shows, the new entertainment, I think there's never going to be a better time to kind of consider booking Disneyland Paris than coming up now for next year. And like I say, I'm going to bring those details back on again. I think it was slide 2. Yeah, here we go. I'm going to bring them back on screen again just so you can see them. So the big one, what we're talking about here today, is the fact as well, from the 2nd of September 2025, Disneyland Paris Summer is going to be available to book. So if you are somebody who wants to go away, you know, from when is it? It's going to be from April, right the way through to March 2027. Now is the time to get that booked. Great thing about Disneyland Paris, and because we have a direct Disneyland Paris contract, we can also offer their Zen guarantee as well. So we can offer the flexibility you get whereby if you want to or you need to, you can change your dates, you can change your hotels, all that type of stuff, all the flexible perks you get as part of the Disneyland Paris Zen guarantee. We can also offer that to you. We would have to have a chat if you booked flights, because flights aren't necessarily as flexible as Disneyland Paris are, but because we are a tour operator and we're using our own ATOL license that we have access to, we can be as flexible as possible as well with how we package these holidays together for you. So you're getting the best flexibility, the best availability. And the one thing I will say with Disneyland Paris as well, if you want to go peak season, so you want to go during the school holidays here in the UK, so, you know, Easter half term, summer holidays, October half term, Christmas, booking earlier is always going to be the best price. Those popular dates will always sell out and they will start going up in price, especially as well if you want unusual configuration rooms. So some of the rooms that can sleep 5 people. I know there's some in some of the value resorts, for example, that have like double bed, bunk bed, and a trundle bed for like infants. If you want those rooms of 5, you're going to want to get in there earlier because there's not as many of those rooms as there are other rooms. Same as well if you've got your heart set on those beautiful balcony rooms in the Disneyland Paris Hotel during summer holidays because you want to watch the fireworks from your balcony. They're going to sell up sooner than all the other rooms, basically, because there's only a handful of those rooms that have those amazing views type of thing. So key dates, definitely, if you're going as a family, you need bigger rooms or more rooms for multiple families, then definitely you're going to want to get in there sooner rather than later. And the date that's available, like I keep saying, is the 2nd of September onwards type of thing. We can just book accommodation and tickets now if you wanted to, and then add on extras afterwards as well. You can already book off property stays. So there is a number of hotels nearby. So like Val d'Europe is a big popular area nearby. And there are a number of hotels as well nearby in Val d'Europe. So if you wanted to consider staying in one of the nearby hotels, then we could do that as well. And then you can add on your park ticket separately to that. Same ways as well, if you've got maybe an annual pass, you're a frequent Disneyland Paris traveler and you've got an annual pass, we can still book your hotel and accommodation and flights for you. And then you obviously have your annual pass as well to access the resort. So guys, if anyone has any questions, by all means, feel free to put them in the chat or let me know. If you want to send any details or ask any questions, I'll show you now. So we have our website. I haven't quite updated the Disneyland Paris section on the website yet. I'm working through the resorts and I'm picking Walt Disney World first, just because it's bigger and I know it better than I know Disneyland Paris. But if you are interested in ever reaching out and asking us to kind of look after you when you are booking your Disneyland Paris holiday, I promise you we are very competitive on price because there's no middleman with us. Basically, we are booking direct with Disneyland Paris, with EasyJet, with the Eurostar. So we're not passing on anyone else's costs. These are all direct bookings, so we can package them all for you really competitively. Ask us if we can match other people's prices. Always happy to look at that for you as well. And then if you want to email me, it's kieran@magical-traveler.com. And if you're watching this on a platform that's not Facebook, you can find me on Facebook or Instagram under magical TRVLR. Other than that, guys, unless anyone has any questions, I'm going to leave it there and I'll see you next week. I don't know what I'm going to talk about next week. I have a sneaky suspicion it may be... Oh, I know what I'm going to talk about next week. Actually, that's related but unrelated. So on Tuesday, this week coming now, I'm actually going to be on board Brilliant Lady, so the 4th lady ship in the Virgin Voyages fleet. So I'm really excited to kind of get on board that. We are actually booked to sail her next May in Alaska. But what I likely will talk about next Friday at 6 p.m. if you are interested in kind of putting the notification on, I'll share all the details of Brilliant Lady. So we're going to be going down on Tuesday and we're going to be dining in the wake for brunch, which we've done before, but it'll be interesting to see what's new on the wake type of thing. And then we're having our evening meal as well in Rojo by Razzle Dazzle, which is the new Spanish eatery on board as well. So I'm really excited to try a whole new eatery as well to the Virgin Voyages fleet, but also just to see what's new on Brilliant Lady. There's new spaces, new decor, new design. So I'll have all that information to share with you guys next week as well. If you are one of my regular Virgin Voyages customers or you're interested in learning a bit more about Virgin Voyages, then definitely keep back next week or follow me along on Tuesday where I'll be sharing. I'm sure I'll share to my stories and share some updates as I find some new stuff as well, and share that with you on social media. But other than that, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.